right, this is HeroQuestFans. We're recording this live from our hotel room. We're just going to do a quick... No, we are live. Okay. So we have no picture. We're just doing audio. This is Brian and I, and we are pretty tired, but we had our Thursday at the convention. And what was your impression of the overall day, would you say?
Well, I mean, it's GenCon. It's an experience unto itself. The best 4 days of gaming, and I mean they're not overselling it. Obviously, the folks at the channel is HeroQuest, but there is a lot of games and gaming going on. Some new releases from all sorts of different things. The TTRPG side of things. You know, there is Daggerheart from the folks at Critical Role.
Daggerheart, yeah.
Yeah. You've got, so many as I'm thinking about it. And so many great companies, great people that just are out here loving games. Had a chance to talk with somebody who works for a company that Kurgan here might be doing some interviews with in the future because he himself is a huge HeroQuest fan.
Yeah.
And we haven't had a chance to look into it yet, but seemed like somebody who really, really loves it and is interested. So, yeah, there might be some extra content coming in the not-too-distant future.
Was that the guy from Mantic Games?
I didn't necessarily want to name drop him in case, you know.
Well, we won't say his name, but...
No, I mean, I don't remember his name anyway. I'm terrible with names.
Well, so, let's see. Let me just run through kind of the stuff we've done. So, we went to see Avalon Hill, of course.
Yeah.
They were actually in the same spot, but they just, I don't know. To me, my impression was they were scaled back just a little bit. They didn't quite have the fancy displays. I mean, yes, they had the display cases with Talisman and HeroQuest and a couple of other games, the Eric Lang games and the other lady, I forgot her name already, but they were saying in the ads, oh, big news, but I don't want to shut everybody's enthusiasm down and say there's nothing, but I suppose this is just Thursday. It was a long day. There's 3 more days left. If they're going to say something besides, hey, we have these celebrity panelists, which they did. I mean, Joe Manganiello was signing autographs today, and we had some nice conversations with people in line.
Yeah.
And he's actually going to be doing autographs in the morning.
Yeah, I had some nice conversations with him, too. I mean, brief, but nice.
He seems like a pretty cool guy. I mean, I think he knows where he is, and he just rolls with it. And because he's into the stuff, too. But, yeah, he's...
Speaks passionately about it.
He does. He seems to genuinely enjoy what he does. So that's cool. I mean, you never know when you meet somebody famous, you think, well, you know, are you going to like him or not?
Well, especially someone when this... Let's face it, nerddom has kind of turned a corner in being, you know, much more socially acceptable than it used to be.
Yeah, but it's not as trendy as it was maybe a few years ago.
And I mean, let's face it, he was getting, if it was an act, he was getting in on the ground floor, and I don't think it's an act. I mean...
Yeah. So, shout out to Joe Manganiello.
Yep.
Yeah, so I got one of those foam swords, which I never thought I would buy because I thought they're just silly, but... I mean, I really enjoyed the LARPing, and I wanted to do it again this year. We're going to try to make it happen. So
well, I feel the most important part of the foam sword, though, is also...
that Joe signed it.
Well, and the fact that, you know, it's not just that Joe signed it. I mean, of course you put it away, but I believe it's, hey, Kurgan, keep slaying.
Yeah.
Joe, I mean...
See, I'm losing my voice. Yeah, 2 Kurgans, slay on.
There we go. I was most of the way there.
Joe Manganiello.
That's right.
Yep. So I wanted to have a chat with him, but then I thought, well, they basically spend a lot of time saying, hey, here's the rules. Keep it moving. Get your thing. Get going. I really enjoyed seeing Rob Champ and Ribby and Angus McBain, a.k.a. Joe Kosher once again. But I got to meet Big Spender and his son, and Ribby's son too again, and Ash, Amalgam Ash was there, HeroQuest. And at first I thought, okay, he's in, he's out, but I mean, he actually kind of turned up a few times, so we got to kind of hang with him. That was cool.
In terms of your, I don't think there's necessarily much news.
Yeah, news-wise.
Yeah, it's day one. They did the conversations that were there. Look, I'm not obviously a regular. I'm not
Give us your impression.
as intense about some of this stuff, but a lot of the stuff. There were comments like, there's a lot of good stuff. You guys are going to like what's coming. Now, whether that's something that you're going to like what's coming tomorrow or Saturday, or you're going to like what's coming the next few months, that remains to be seen. But, I mean, they clearly are working on stuff and excited about some of it. They just necessarily couldn't say anything right then and there without getting in trouble.
Yeah, and I just want to make sure that if the volume was too low, this is Brian and I, day one. GenCon. We've been having a good time. And as people have been noticing, Avalon Hill has been their usual friendly self. According to them, they did not suffer any actual losses of personnel from the layoffs at Hasbro, which is good to hear.
Yeah.
This time. And so we saw Patrick, we saw Tess Hogan, we saw Craig Von Ness. Doug Hopkins, of course, was in top form. I think some people were a bit jealous because I guess word got around that he did do an exclusive quest with some people last year, and that's the kind of thing he does. He doesn't answer the questions directly because he's not that guy. Instead, he can kind of like get little hints as a designer. He definitely is paying attention to what people want in HeroQuest.
Yeah.
And so I think some of the things that we've been thinking about or hearing about or talking about, we didn't bring up Scaven to him or Ratman, but I mean, this idea of player versus player combat, maybe a little bit of focus on the bad guys.
I was going to say, it's one of those things that I think, without getting into too much, I think it's something that they're clearly bouncing around, or at least something he is, whether that's something that makes it to the greater dev team or, anything other than just a little in-house thing that they screw around with remains to be seen.
Absolutely.
Because, there's...
So we're not revealing anything.
Nope.
But we're just, I think there's definitely, he likes to work on stuff, and he likes to kind of give people a glimpse of what he's working on and kind of see how people react to it.
Yeah.
And the exclusive quest that they had, which we got copies of, and like lots of people have copies. Please don't buy scalped copies on eBay. But it's just a one-sheet prequel, I guess you could say, or one-off, one-shot from First Light. It struck me as a very quick, a very easy, very short quest.
Yeah, it uses like a quarter of the map.
Yeah, very small. But what I appreciated about it, and I told Doug this, is there's notes in there for Zargon. It's kind of like teaching you, giving you suggestions about being a game master, which a lot of players are probably like, I don't need this. But think of all the people who are just starting and have no idea that, hey, I can adjust the difficulty as we play.
Especially given, I think,
here's a way to wrap things up quicker if I need to.
Since First Light is sort of designed to be a new entry point,
yeah,
I think something like that is vital. Because, again, not everybody has been
35-year history of
super
playing.
Enthusiastic about this for 35 years. So you are going to have people that don't have the longevity, don't have just the experience at it. So, and, people that have never taken the next steps beyond to do, or I won't say next steps, taken the path of, the role-playing game.
Right.
So just the ability to sort of pivot on the fly, yes, and anything that can help and just make that easier and more accessible, I think, is exactly what they want.
Absolutely. I think there's definitely a sense that they're trying to convey in HeroQuest that it's not like, oh, I want to be slightly more complex with my gameplay. I have to stop playing HeroQuest and go play D&D 5e. Like, that's my only choice. Or play Pathfinder. Even though those are great games. But you can introduce a little more complexity into your game if you want to. If that's what your table wants. Here's some suggested ways you could start to do that.
Yeah, you've also got, you've got Mork Borg, you've got Dragonbane, you've got Daggerheart coming out. Again,
yep.
if you're a bunch of like drama kids or something.
Brian's more an RPG guy than I am, but I've
am.
heard of some of these games.
Yeah, RPG.
Cyberpunk.
Yeah, Cyberpunk. I think I heard they had some new
Isn't Call of Cthulhu a big famous?
Oh yeah, Call of Cthulhu is one of those
Sucks,
it's been around forever. Because obviously based off Cthulhu mythos. The similar vein, Free League puts out. I feel bad. My wife is a Scandinavian professor. Väsen, which is sort of a similar type of game, but whereas it's versus just Eldritch Horror from Beyond, it's mythological creatures that are pissed off that the Industrial Revolution is screwing up their lands and the people that they're used to interacting with. And so, you kind of have to hunt that out. So again, there's a lot of things even in the horror RPGs genre that there is. Lots of options out there. So many different takes on things.
Yeah, find the game that you want.
Yeah, and I mean, there's...
But I think, let me say this. So I think HeroQuest is just one example of a game that does this, but basically just telling the person, hey, it's okay for you to, like, modify this game as you play. Not just, well, I can rearrange the quest slightly. It's like, no, you can play around with the rule mechanics, the storytelling, and other games do that too. I mean, 40K, we're going to be playing a tournament.
All right.
All day Saturday. It's going to be a long marathon. But, I mean, that's the tournament. When you play casual games, there's a lot more flexibility. Oh, yeah. And people are okay with trying new things and different things that are not according to the official rules.
Yeah, there's whole books even in scenario packs where you've got asymmetrical battles. There's somebody who is, hey, here's a cool castle. You're the Imperial Fist defending it from some heretical traitor scum.
Is there any other kind? I'm just kidding.
I mean, well, no, not really.
They're all rogues. But, yeah, it's the game designers, they take pride in their work, but they're also, like, giving you permission to kind of take it off on your own. And if you want to scale it back, make it simpler, make it shorter, easier, great. If you want to combine other elements, bring in other things from other genres that you like, why not?
Yeah.
So I didn't record all of Joe Manganiello's talk at the Q&A. I came late. But he was saying how, what was his example? Like, some people want to play D&D and they're just shopping for baked goods.
Yeah,
and
they have.
That's not what I want to do, but if some people want to, you can do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's your game, and there's so many different ways that you can take it. It's really struck me because in my personal group, we've got a few married couples that are involved. One of the guys who's a regular game master does enjoy having specials in the tavern and drink specials, local brews to sample. My wife loves playing cute things that also like to smash stuff.
I sat in on I played with, what was it, the cats or something?
No, Magical Kitties Save the World. I feel bad. I should know that.
I humored you at first, but I'll admit, it was fun.
Yeah,
it was funny, too.
Yeah, and you're playing like house cats with special powers that run around and save the neighborhood. They've got all sorts. Actually, there might be some sort of expansion. I feel like I read
There's
about
always an
something.
expansion.
Yeah, I feel like I'd read something about alien invasions. Though, as I'm saying that, we'll have to edit that out because that's I'm tired. That's something.
This is just a thought dump. So we went through the exhibit halls, of course. Got our speed paint, Warhammer, Infernus.
Contrast paint. Speed paint is the army painter.
Whatever. The watercolor stuff that you slap on and it dries real quick and then you can take it home.
It's not how it works, but yes.
Okay, I know.
But also yes.
But that's my impression of it. Anyway, so the vendor hall is where it's elbow to elbow and it's hot and it's sweaty and I felt like I was just walking continuously and you're just darting your head side to side and it's like, oh, there's that, there's every kind of dice you could think of, paintings and cosplay, costumes and books and all these games you've never heard of, and
feel like
it's kind of overwhelming.
Even though we hit the major,
but we did stop. We did stop at Warhammer. We stopped at Chessex. We stopped at a couple different places.
We did. So
looked at some things.
Free League,
yeah.
Went looking for that foam sword.
Yeah.
A little bit of catalyst, but it was getting near the end, so kind of wanted to
Yeah.
They were announcing that the exhibit hall was closing and basically get the hell out.
HeroScape, barely. I mean, mostly just walked by.
Yeah, I mean, really, look, it's even with us walking around and breaking it up in a couple of sessions. There's so much games and designers and artists and stuff there. I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't cover a third of it.
Yeah, it was window shopping. I mean, you could spend your entire time just shopping if you had the money.
Yes.
You could spend the whole time just playing games, demo games. You could spend the entire time playing games with your friends. So this year, originally I had a much fuller schedule. I canceled a lot of the stuff because I thought, I'll hit the main points and then spend the rest of the time, be free to either try new things or hang out with the guys who came. Yeah. So we have some plans for tomorrow. We'll see how much actually happens, but we were thinking of doing laser tag outside the venue to make up for the lousy laser tag last year, and get some autographs from Joe Manganiello, and maybe see what other kind of swag we can pick up. I know several people have asked me for the GM screens that they've put out. It's this really stylish Stephen Baker inspired game GM screen. I don't know the full story about it, but several people wanted that. There's also you were talking about what was it, musicians, and it was like a mock-up. You've probably seen pictures now in our Discord, HeroQuestFans Discord, of basically like a lute player, like a bard singing the songs of Rogar the Barbarian, and on the flip side it has a menu, like you can order drinks like Ogre Grog and I don't know what else. It was just a very, very humorous flyer that they put out, like a fake restaurant ad. And then, of course, the GM screen. No dice this time. So no swag dice from HeroQuest. Talisman had a lot of displays, but I didn't see any giveaways from that. I think it was mostly Life in Retrera and Cosmolancer that had the giveaways. And honestly, I've never played those games. I'm not super interested in them. So I didn't grab any. Other swag, let's see. There was a lot of course, little dice and stuff, Warhammer figures. Yeah. Were any other standouts you wanted to mention real quick? I know we kind of got to get out of here and get some rest.
Honestly, no, and I think, exactly. Getting some rest is probably going to help.
Self-care is important.
It is. I do think that getting some of that will help in helping report that much more tomorrow. So, we're going to have to do all that. So
we got to find out when the cosplay parade is. On the other hand, if it's on Saturday...
It's on Saturday.
Oh, okay. I'm going to miss it then.
It's on Saturday.
All right. All your costume contests are safe from me because I won't be there. We'll be playing Warhammer.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, if you want to see us, if you're there, Lucas Oil Stadium, orange section.
That's right.
Boo, he cheats. It's like, okay, don't listen to that guy. He's just there trolling me.
Yeah.
Just kidding. But yeah, it should be fun. So 9 hours of Warhammer.
That's right.
Yeah, we're gonna try to.
It's gonna be amazing.
Well, I won't say what we're trying to do. We'll see how it pans out.
Yeah.
But yeah, got our armies painted. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, HeroQuest fans, and we're not going to stay up all night like we did last year. But shout out to Ribby for recommending this hotel, and Amalgamash. It was cool to meet him in the flesh. I know he works really hard on his stuff, and you sometimes wonder what your impression is gonna be of somebody that you've only talked to online. Strikes me as a real humble guy, really believes in what he's doing. So I hope he keeps it up.
Yeah.
Great job. And Doug too. He kind of messes around with us, jokes around, but you can tell he's very sincere about what he does. Yeah, he loves what he does. Absolutely. And we hope he continues to do it. So even though we haven't heard about Wizards of Morcar yet, I still believe it's happening. And he said something cryptic to us at the start, which was basically conveying the idea that basically what we know or what he wants us to know about Wizards of Morcar has already been told to us by a certain Encarmine. So, not a direct quote.
Well, and also, there was a lot of joking around. So
there was a lot of joking around.
Getting ahead, but
yeah. I believe that they have something special planned, and if all goes well, we'll see it. It's just a question of when.
Yep.
So, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Have a good night, and if you're at the con, have fun. If not, sucks to be you.
All right. Yeah, you can always come hang out with us next year or whenever.
That's right.
It's definitely worth it. All
Yeah.
right. Bye.